Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to welcome you very much to our third virtual fair at EPLAN and CIDEON. I say hello to Europe, I say good morning to the people, customers joining from Americas, and I say good evening to our customers in Asia if they are still online here and looking to our virtual fair. I am very happy again for the second time in this fair. The first time was 6 hours ago. Now to present and give an overview about our EPLAN strategy, our main topics of innovation for this year. Before I go to the details, once again the reminder for you, please feel free to ask questions in the chat. I will then see the questions in my iPad afterwards, and then we will be able to answer them following my session. So feel free to ask any type of question during the session via chat. So let me go to the introduction. For those of you who do not know EPLAN and CIDEON, we are part of the Friedhelm Law Group. We are the software division with a worldwide presence of around 1,200 employees. And we belong to the overall to the Friedhelm Law Group with Friedhelm, with more than 11,500 employees. Here on the picture you see our owner, Professor Dr. Friedhelm Law. Now let's go to the topics which we will be discussing shortly. The theme of the Hanover Fair, which is just a few weeks ago, was connect and collaborate. Two very important topics around Industry 4.0, two very important topics around Internet of Things. Many other topics which we already discussed in some previous sessions were PDM systems, how to connect to PDM systems, interfaces. Digital twin is a very important topic which is ongoingly and which will for sure also accompany us in the next couple of years. Likewise, big and smart data. Standards is a very important topic, and let me say these are the topics I will now focus on during the next 5 and 7 minutes. One is cloud-to-cloud connections, EPLAN goes cloud, and the other one is standards, and all center around connection and collaboration. Let me first go to the collaboration topic. We are, if we're looking how the world of today, for example, in the maintenance area looks like, I have here an own picture which I made myself a couple of weeks ago. This is an elevator in a German railway station, so which just is coming up to pick me up. So I see the rooftop of this elevator, and if you look carefully, you see here the service documentation right on top this elevator. So as you see here, this might be a good example or a bad example, but as you can see, many machines, many elevators are maintained on the basis of paper documentation. So we are not completely sure whether this is the latest version, whether there have been changes to the elevator or to the machine meanwhile. And one of our EPLAN objectives is to not also support the engineering process with our EPLAN tools, but to also support the production and even the maintenance of machines with our EPLAN solutions. And therefore we are extremely happy to present this year that our EPLAN project now goes to the cloud. What does this mean? This means that from summer onwards we will allow the possibility under certain conditions that for all EPLAN users they can decide to publish part of their documents in the cloud, so no longer only on premise but in the cloud, so that other service partners like the guys who service an elevator could then have access to it. So this means that we would have increased collaboration with partners like suppliers, customers or maintenance people, that we would be able to exchange information in a very safe and consistent way, and that this will be also up-to-date, much more up-to-date documentation than we have when we're working with paper only. This will be a breakthrough from our point of view, because there will be many very interesting scenarios, and on the last Hannover Fair we had lots of partners who were very interested in combining, for example, their service clouds with our EPLAN project in the cloud, and then mutually check out what has been changed or in which area of a schematic a certain component has been used. I will talk later about it. So this EPLAN project in the cloud is now for us a fourth step on our way to and in the cloud. 2008 we have published our EPLAN Data Portal on Microsoft Azure Cloud. Now in 2016, 2 years ago, we have published the Syngineer, released the Syngineer in the cloud. Last year the EPLAN Cogeneer, and this year, as I said, the EPLAN project in the cloud with all the documentation which is created by the engineers. So besides this topic, I was talking about the topics of standards in order to connect better. Standards is a second very important topic where we have put a lot of focus onto. And what happens if you are not connecting well to each other, if you're speaking different languages? You can see here in this Tower of Babel a very bad example if the different partners, if the different parties cannot properly communicate with each other. So as we are no longer building an Industry 4.0 house on our own, if we need more and more partners to build such a large tower, Industry 4.0 tower, we really need to have languages, joint standards, how to communicate with our partners. That's why these standards become ever more important in order to talk and do not build such a Tower of Babel, but build a nice tower. And that's why we are focusing as EPLAN and CIDEON a lot on these standards. We are very happy that Automation ML now seems to become a worldwide standard which we comply to. We are looking at E-Class, E-Class Advanced, and have now implemented functionality to import and export. We are looking at the open AAS, we are OPC UA, and IO link, whatever you find here are all very important topics, and our goal is to help to develop these standards, to be open for these standards as EPLAN and CIDEON, and of course we would like that these standards become really very soon worldwide standards, so that we know how to connect with each other in a much better, much more efficient way. So these were the two new topics regarding connection and collaboration. So one topic, EPLAN project in the cloud, the other all these standards. Let me now talk a little bit about the overall benefits and values of Industry 4.0, about our strategy. I would say time savings are always a measure, how to measure whether a solution is good, cost savings, quality improvement, and now more and more customers are also asking, can we reach lot size 1, and how can we reach lot size 1? How can we make a machine very specific to a specific customer demand? And the answer is we can only make lot size 1 in a profitable and possible way if we really automate as many as possible processes. Because at the end of the day, if I, for example, have a Friedhelm machine who drills the hole in a cabinet, for the machine it doesn't matter whether it drills 10 times the same patterns for a serious product, or whether it automatically generates the NC code to drill 10 times different hole patterns in a cabinet wall. So we need to automate and standardize our processes in order to reach all these 4 benefits in all those 4 dimensions. So what are the topics we will reach these benefits with? These are the 3 topics I have presented last year already, and where we continue to develop further, and which are just sometimes at the start of a bigger development. So let's talk first about mechatronics. Mechatronics is the question: how do the different engineering disciplines, how can they work better together, more seamlessly connect with each other, more seamlessly collaborate? The second topic is the integrated value chain. So this is a similar concept. How can engineering now, overall engineering, work better together in the life cycle with production and assembly? How can engineering suggest or improve maintenance and operations? How can we better connect from engineering side to maybe the sales? And the last and third topic is: how can data, how can smart data help us with all of these processes, with all of these connection and collaboration topics? So first topic, mechatronics. EPLAN and CIDEON are doing many topics in order to increase the collaboration. So we have from the CIDEON side very important interfaces, for example, to SAP from the different MCAD systems. For the EPLAN side, we have connectors to the PLC software engineering to more than 10 different partners, so that we can export I/O lists and so on. And one important topic which we presented 2 years ago is the joint EPLAN and CIDEON solution, Syngineer. And I'm very happy that we continue to add plugins. So we have added now the Creo plugin for PTC on top of the Autodesk Inventor, Autodesk AutoCAD on top of the Siemens Solid Edge, and the SoSystem SolidWorks plugin, which we already had available last year. And we also added quite a number of plugins for the different IT and software engineering tools, which now can also very well linked to our Syngineer solution. What is our Syngineer solution doing? Syngineer solution is a communication and collaboration tool between the various engineering disciplines, between mechanical engineering, software engineering, PLC engineering, and electrical automation engineering. So in order to better connect, if you have joint components like a light barrier, that you can better inform each other what changes have been done on one side of the engineering, which need to be reflected on the other side. So look at it. We also have a presentation later on the Syngineer. Another big topic, the second topic, is the improvement and the better collaboration within the value chain. As I was already saying, with CIDEON we provide the interfaces to the engineering via the Engineering Control Center to the SAP ERP systems to ease and better enable production planning. We are looking into linkages, better linkages to the sales process, because normally in sales a customer order starts, so that sales normally knows earlier than engineering what type of machine does a customer exactly want to be, in which country, under which temperature conditions, and so on. So we are also trying to link closer to the sales processes. In the last couple of years, we have focused a lot on production and assembly together with our sister company Friedhelm. So we have for the shop floor or for the cabinet assembly, we have looked into building a digital twin of the cabinet with EPLAN Pro Panel. So not only the 2D schematic layout, but really a 3D Pro Panel where you can see each component in the cabinet, and we also have released smart wiring solution to exactly show the shop floor workers from where to where each wire has to be fed and where it has to be fixed, so that wiring becomes much more transparent, becomes much easier and much faster. Now with StoreShare View, we go especially on the operations and services side, so avoiding paper and enable much more up-to-date documentation on the operations and services side. So we can save a lot of time in manufacturing, and similarly we can save a lot of time also for service in the future. So this means that we have lots of interesting use cases along this value chain where we connect, for example, I was mentioning the standard automation ML. I'm very happy now that besides the Siemens Tier portal and the interface to Mitsubishi IQ Works via automation ML, we also now will connect to the Rockwell Automation Studio 5000 and to the Beckhoff TwinCAD 3 via automation ML. We have shown a very good showcase with augmented reality together with PTC and Lense, where you can then see in the cabinet exactly the component which reports an error. This information coming from the service marketplace of Lense, then look into our EPLAN StoreShare View to see which components are connected, for example, to an error, and then show it virtually via augmented reality on an iPad which component it is. With SAP, we have shown on the SAP booth at the Hannover Fair, we have shown an interface between our Syngineer, which I mentioned before, and the SAP product Intelligent Product Design, and similarly from the EPLAN engineering configuration with the SAP Advanced Variant Configuration. Last but not least, data, the fuel of our century. We are very happy that we could increase again the number of manufacturers, the number of available components in the data portal has increased again dramatically in the last year and also in the first couple of months this year. We also have now 6 companies shown on the right here who also link or jump, where you can also jump from EPLAN into a configurator, for example, into a Festo or Interested Houses, Rexroth, Rittal Vega or Metalwork connector and configurator, so you can configure even more of these products which do not need to be physically present in the data portal one by one anymore. Last but not least, regarding the data portal, you can also look to our later sessions, but we added the community spirit so that you can assess the quality of each component and give the component manufacturer better feedback about how consistently he has documented it. And we are looking again at collaboration and seeing how we can, with the new OEM portal, increase and improve the collaboration between manufacturer, machine builder and operator. Last but not least, we have a new interface which will publish end of the year for our data portal, which will make it much easier to use and which will be more fun to work with. So with this, I conclude the main topics and I'm very happy to see, to invite you to many of the following sessions now for the specific topics you are interested in. Thank you very much for listening, and now we'll see for the questions. There's one question here. Could you please elaborate a bit on the AR pilot with PTC? Is this focused on service area, or are you exploring AR to improve smart wiring functionality as well? Of course. This works the following way. On the Lense side, with the Lense service app, they could, for example, via OPC UA or via whatever technology, they could find out that a Lense component in this case reported an error. Now from the Lense cloud, from the Lense service cloud, we then jumped into the EPLAN Store view where the full project was documented in this case. And then there was the question via a cloud to cloud connector, which other controllers is this Lense component which reported an error connected to. And then via the EPLAN documentation we could, for example, then find in a cabinet there might be a controller X or a controller Y which is used for this Lense component in the field who reported an error. And then via augmented reality, the information coming from EPLAN, looking into the EPLAN Pro panel, you could then get a very good view exactly which component in a big cabinet reported the error without needing to measure, without needing to detail it in or look into it in very detail. So this is, in this case, it was a service scenario, but of course you could also see and maybe you have ideas for other scenarios how to further combine it. We used PTC ThinkWorks to extract part of the information, and this was combined with the Lense showcase. Let's look whether there are more. Is there any presentation that describes the various EPLAN modules and what each one does? We have not, I guess, on this fair, we have not a complete overview in one presentation, but I can invite you to participate in the many presentations. You can also chat in any of the presentation, and then we can send you more information about the whole product portfolio. So there are two ways. Either you listen, take some time in the afternoon and check out several presentations, or you go into the chats and then we can provide you specific information for you. Then next topic, will Syngineer work with Siemens Teamcenter? No, at the moment not. We have now plugins, as I was showing, for SolidWorks, for Solid Edge, for AutoCAD Electrical, for Creo and so on. Not yet for Teamcenter, but this could be a potential next step. Then I have, no, this is not a question. This is only the question that, or the asking you that you can ask questions. So, any more questions coming from your side? So then I would like to thank you very much for listening. I hope I could bring some new topics, some new thoughts to you, and I very much invite you again to listen now to the following presentations or chat with our product experts. We have here just in the room besides us, we have sitting 10 experts, so you get the best knowledge here, what we also have on the Hannover Fair directly in one room. So please use the opportunity and chat with our worldwide experts for each of the topics, whether it's configuration, whether it's data portal, whether it's collaboration, whether it's ECTR interfaces. Just select which is most interesting for you. Thank you very much.